Welcome to Conscious Cafe, your creative sanctuary with Genevieve Cheung, where we are going to talk about consciousness meet creativity, authenticity meet inspiration, and every soul can unwind and awaken. Hello, beautiful souls. Now let's take a moment, just you and me here. Close your eyes unless you are driving, and imagine the stillness of a silver lake under moonlight. That is the kind of moment we are stepping into, because we are now entering the sacred field of the Libra Full Moon on April the 12th, 2025. This full moon is a powerful one. It is soft and sharp, healing and confronting. And just like a true Libran's mirror, it is reflecting back everything that needs balance in our lives, especially in our relationships and with ourselves. Let's ground this energy first. We are talking about the full moon in Libra, which occurs at 23 degrees in Libra, direct opposite Chiron in Aries. The opposing Sun and Chiron in Aries, this axis brings relationship healing and ego wounding to the forefront. This lunation echoes the Libra solar eclipse from October the 14th in 2023. So it was initiated then, and now reach a revelation and climax moment at this full moon. With esoteric insight, this Libra governed the kidneys and lower back, representing balance, right relationship, and the mystic law of equilibrium. Libra is about choosing the middle path in esoteric astrology, the spiritual refinement of karmic depths through awareness of others' needs. So this is just not another full moon. It is a direct activation of the solar eclipse back in October 14th in 2023. That moment we planted a seed, and now 18 months later, something is ripening. Something that began quietly, maybe painfully, is now illuminated in full view. So what more? Just 40 minutes after this full moon, Venus, the ruler of Libra, is stationed direct, and Mercury too. Just a few days before, is turning direct while conjunct the North Node and Saturn in Pisces. This is a cosmic swell of energy, a sacred pause, a moment when the thread of fate simmers, but not entirely clear. I would like to talk about Chiron first, the mirror of Chiron in Aries, the wounds of the self. In mythology, Chiron was a centaur, half human, half horse. He was wounded by a poisonous arrow, but as a healer himself, he couldn't heal. That's how he became the teacher of heroes. His pain transformed into wisdom. And now he sits with the sun in Aries, the sign of self, identity, and will. If you may ask yourself, where am I afraid to fully be me? Where do I strain to keep the peace? And where have I traded my authenticity for acceptance? Libra can fall into people-pleasing, while Aries can charge ahead blindly. But this full moon is asking us to balance both, to relate without abandoning our own selves. This is a sacred soul work. How can we work with that? Let's zoom in to an esoteric aspect of Rahu, Mercury, and the fog of illusion. Mercury and Venus, both retrograded, are tangled up with North Node Rahu in Pisces. And, of course, Saturn is there too. With this formation, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn conjunct North Node in Pisces, that is the most ethereal and spiritual fluid sign. We are talking about karmic destiny territory. Rahu or North Node exaggerate and distort the energy of any planet it touches. While Mercury retrograde is about miscommunication, distortion of fact, this Mercury is deliberated in Pisces. With Venus retrograde until 40 minutes after the full moon, relational tension, reassessing values is being asked. That, of course, Saturn brings delay, structure, and karmic tests and consequences. With everything in Pisces that is the mystical ocean, Mercury doesn't swim well here. It is foggy and distorted. Ideas may feel very exciting, but it may not be grounded. Words may sound sweet, but lack substance. In esoteric anatomy, Mercury governs nervous systems and our lungs, while Venus is about thymus, circulation, and motion of the heart, and Saturn governed bones, teeth, and karma, the architecture of soul lessons. The spiritual tips and advice here is only fools rush in where angels fear to tread. This alignment consult patience, discernment, and stillness in chaos. With Rahu, the color is gray. It veils, not reveals. When North Node touches a planet, it expands it, but also in a disorienting way. So you might have been feeling overwhelmed by information, confused about a decision, or emotionally reactive in relationships. I would like you to know that you are not alone, and you are certainly not broken. You are simply swimming through cosmic fog. With that, I would like to use the Saturn energy. What is the timing and discernment with the Saturnian lesson? Saturn in Pisces brings structure to dreams, but right now it is delaying clarity. And that is not a punishment. It is a test of spiritual maturity. This energy is saying, oh please, don't leap, don't sign, don't chase. Wait until the dust settles. April is full of beautiful illusions, but not all illusions turn into truth. As we know, Saturn's rule bones, teeth, and time itself. So this is about embodying your truth very slowly. Can you be okay not knowing? Can you pause, reflect, and ask, is this real for me? Here, I have a little sacred science of emotionality versus intuition. When we are highly emotional, our prefrontal cortex, the part that helps us reason, literally shuts down. So be aware of emotional manipulation, whether it is about media, gurus, or even loved ones. Stay in your body. Stay in your breath. Truth has a frequency, and it is not frantic. As Eckhart Tolle said, stillness is the language God speaks, and everything else is a bad translation. So this brings us to look at Chiron in Aries. It is about the courage to see ourselves. This lunation isn't just about any others. It is about the reflection others offer. Libra is the sign of relationship, and it is also about mirror. And Chiron in Aries reminds us that when we feel unloved, unseen, or unfairly treated, it is an invitation to meet the wound beneath this reaction. So I would like to invite you now to see who and what is showing you your unresolved pain. Where are you outsourcing your worth? And finally, how can you bring loving awareness, that part of you? To answer these questions, let me take you deeper into the myth and its meanings. Libra is ruled by Venus, goddess of love and beauty. But in myth, she wasn't all heart and roses. She could be vengeful, deeply discerning, and protective of harmony. In esoteric astrology, Venus represents the heart chakra, the ability to synthesize love with wisdom. So in this full moon, it's not about superficial peace. We are now being invited to dig deep into a radical inner balance. And Venus, now stationing direct, she is whispering. The heart remembers. The truth matters. And the soul must align with beauty, not illusion. To bring us into a collective mirror, we should look around. The world is chaotic. Spiritual bypassing is rampant. New ideas sounds revolutionary. But where is the integrity of all this? Saturn, conjunct the North Node, is calling out for truth, not trend. This is karma being worked out in real time. So we must become our own discerners, our own inner counsel. No more waiting for a savior. No more looking outside or outward. How can we work with this energy in this full moon? Here is what I recommend in the weeks around this full moon. We can journal on relational patterns from October 2023 to now. To delay big decisions until April 18th, when Mars changes signs. We can practice mirror gazing. Look into your eyes and ask, what am I abandoning myself in? To revisit spiritual teaching, not for escape, but for embodied insight. And finally, to anchor into ritual such as bathing, breath work, and grounding. The affirmation for this full moon. I am the still point in a turning world. I trust the mirror to show me my soul. I release illusion. I return to love. So, my dear listeners, this is not just another full moon. It is a portal, a mirror, a moment of reckoning. Not in a fearful way, but in the most tender, soul-honoring way possible. Be kind to yourself. Be slow. Be discerning. Let your body be your compass. Let your heart be your anchor. And let your soul be your guide. And as always, thank you for sharing this sacred space with me. Until next time, stay rooted Stay radiant and trust your path. This is Conscious Cafe. I am your host, Genevieve Cheung. See you in the next wave.